Big news has just shaken the motorsport world. General Motors and Formula One have reached an agreement that will see GM enter the sport as the 11th team. This is not just any entry, though the team will debut with a car powered by one of the existing engine manufacturers. But what stands out even more is that GM plans to hire two drivers who, until recently, have been relatively under the radar. While a lot of attention has been on American talents like Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward, reports suggest that GM is also eyeing a more experienced figure to help steer the ship in the right direction. Enter Daniel Ricciardo, a name that has been making waves in the US and could make a return to F1 as part of this new project. Could we see the Australian making a competitive comeback? Only time will tell, but the pieces are starting to fall into place for an exciting new chapter in F1. After months of anticipation, the long-awaited moment has finally arrived. We will see an 11th team on the F1 grid. But the circumstances surrounding this entry are anything but ordinary. General Motors, through its luxury brand Cadillac, is stepping in without the direct involvement of the Andretti family, even though Mario Andretti, the legendary F1 champion, will be overseeing Cadillac's F1 operations. This move suggests that a deal has been struck that benefits both Formula One and General Motors. During the Las Vegas Grand Prix, F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali made it clear that if a new team enters as an engine manufacturer, it changes the whole landscape of the sport. He emphasized that as directors, their primary responsibility is to ensure what's best for their company and its employees, but also for the sport itself. As long as the new team contributes to growing F1's global popularity and its financial revenue, there's no reason to oppose it. The decision to bring in GM has been solidified, with F1 confirming that GM has met all the necessary milestones to become the 11th team on the grid. However, this news might complicate things for Andretti, especially after he resigned as CEO of Andretti Global. But his role as director at Cadillac shows just how crucial his influence has been in bringing this all to fruition. Formula One has officially recognized General Motors' commitment to entering the sport, thanks to a detailed review and operational milestones achieved throughout the year. F1's statement also confirmed that GM plans to start by supplying engines, with the possibility of further involvement down the line. This is important because the addition of more engine manufacturers is always a positive step for F1, as it sparks competition and innovation. It's clear that teams will need to be ready for the power shift that Cadillac is likely to bring to the table. Mark Rios, GM's president, has expressed his excitement about joining the world's top racing series, calling it an honor for Cadillac and GM. He made it clear that they are fully committed to competing with integrity and passion, aiming to elevate the sport for fans across the globe. Cadillac has also announced that Mario Andretti will head up their F1 operations, a decision that speaks volumes about his deep connection to the sport. Without Mario's relentless efforts, none of this would have been possible. The shift in leadership at Liberty Media, the departure of Greg Maffei, and the recent elections have all played a role in clearing the way for Michael Andretti's return to the sport. Mario himself has spoken with great enthusiasm about his return, saying, "Formula One has always been my first love, and to still be involved after all these years is a dream come true." The Andretti family's influence on this new team is undeniable, but as we look ahead, the question remains, what role will Michael Andretti play within the team? He's been instrumental in pushing this project forward, so his role is likely to be pivotal. As Cadillac and General Motors prepare to make their F1 debut, there's a lot of focus on the drivers who will be filling those coveted spots on the grid. The arrival of a new team means 2 additional seats, and the competition to fill them is fierce. Given the depth of talent in motorsport today, it's clear that many drivers would jump at the chance to race for an American-backed team. The big question is whether GM will look to sign a veteran or take a risk with 2 rookies. Reports have suggested that Daniel Ricciardo, while not American, is on Cadillac's radar. His popularity in the US is a major factor, and his experience in Formula One makes him a valuable asset for a team starting from scratch. Even though Ricciardo's recent form hasn't been standout, his return to the grid would bring a wealth of knowledge, especially to a new team like Cadillac. Ricciardo's presence in F1 has always been a crowd puller, and for a team aiming to establish itself in the US market, he would be the perfect ambassador. Cadillac could certainly benefit from Ricciardo's experience, as any new team would struggle without a driver who knows how to develop a car and provide the feedback needed to improve it. However, this doesn't mean that GM is ignoring rising American stars. Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward are names frequently mentioned in connection with this team, as both are incredibly talented and have the potential to be stars in Formula One. The situation around Ricciardo's potential return to Formula One is particularly interesting, as it marks a significant shift in his career. His exit from the sport was one of the most difficult decisions he's had to make, but the opportunity to join an American-backed team could provide him with the perfect comeback story. Despite his struggles in recent seasons, Ricciardo has never hidden his love for the sport, and his statement that he can never say no to F1 speaks volumes about his passion and commitment. It's likely that even if he explores other categories, his heart will always remain in Formula One. While Ricciardo's return seems to be a strong possibility, there's a sense of uncertainty surrounding it. After all, Cadillac will be entering F1 with no established track record, and they'll need to carefully consider the risk of bringing in a driver who hasn't been at the top of his game lately. Yet Ricciardo's experience and status as one of the most marketable drivers in the sport make him a prime candidate for the role. The other alternative for Cadillac would be to go for a combination of a veteran and a rising star, similar to Audi's strategy. Veteran drivers like Valtteri Bottas or even Sebastian Vettel could be considered, but none of them have the same pull as Ricciardo in the US market. This is a key consideration for Cadillac, as they will want to draw in American sponsors, fans, and media attention, making Ricciardo an even more attractive option. As we look ahead to Cadillac's F1 debut, it's clear that the team will need a strategic approach to their driver lineup. The combination of a veteran and a promising rookie could be the winning formula. While Ricciardo's name continues to dominate the conversation, there are other drivers in the mix who could make a significant impact. Colton Herta, for example, has been closely linked to the team for some time. Andretti, who has worked with Herta in IndyCar, has been vocal about his belief in the American driver's potential to excel in Formula One. The interest in Herta is not just about his talent behind the wheel, it's also about his potential to be a fan favorite in the US. F1's growing popularity in North America is a crucial factor for any new team, and having an American driver on the grid would certainly help further solidify the sport's foothold in the region. Herta's previous attempts to join F1, including Red Bull's efforts to bring him on board, show that the interest as mutual F1 teams see the value in having an American driver in their lineup. Pato O'Ward, another highly rated American driver, is also expected to be a contender for one of the seats. His performances in IndyCar have caught the eye of many, and the fact that he has already tested Formula One machinery only strengthens his case. O'Ward's proven track record and consistent form could make him a strong candidate to partner with a more experienced driver like Ricciardo. With the announcement of Cadillac's entry into Formula One, the sport is about to enter a thrilling new era. The addition of the 11th team not only shakes up the grid but also opens up exciting possibilities for the drivers who will fill those two open seats. While the focus will certainly be on American talent like Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward, the involvement of a veteran like Daniel Ricciardo could be a game-changer for the new team. His experience and fan appeal in the US could provide a huge boost both on and off the track. As the team begins to take shape, the question remains, what will Cadillac's entry mean for Formula One as a whole? Will their engine supply and potential driver lineup shift the balance of power among the current teams? Or will they struggle to find their footing in the highly competitive world of F1? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the arrival of a new American-backed team will bring fresh energy and excitement to the sport. F1 fans around the world are already speculating about what's to come, and the next few seasons are going to be filled with anticipation. With 2 new seats on the grid and an all-American team in the making, the landscape of Formula One is about to change forever.